àwọn èèyàn torí pé ipò kéèyàn kọ́ kó mọ̀ kó tún wá fi kọ́ àwọn èèyàn yẹn ipò ẹnìyẹn fi máa ń dé ipò máàrífà alhaqiqiyya pé èèyàn mọ̀ nǹkan nípa pàápàá rẹ̀ ipò yẹn wá ènìyàn náà ló máa ń gbé yẹn dé ipò pé èèyàn mọ Ọlọ́run ọba ń tòótọ́ èèyàn ò lè nímọ̀ láéláé kó wá dọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ọba tí ò bá lò ó dìgbà tí ẹ bá tó kó méjèèjì papọ̀ kéèyàn tó mọ Ọlọ́run ọba dáadáa wọn wá nú àdéhìí wọn ní Abu Yahya lọ́jọ́ kan ń bá wọn mọ̀ kí ó sọ̀rọ̀ wọn sọ fún bí kharaja ahlu dunya min ad-dunya wa lam yazuqu atyaba ma fi ó láwọn tí wọ́n níbi ayé tí gbogbo àmọ́ ń kọ́ wọn wà ń kó ńláńlá yẹn wọ́n jáde ilé ayé ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tó dùn jù ilé ayé àwọn ọba àwọn ìjòyè àwọn president àti bẹ́ẹ̀ 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 lọ nǹkan tó dùn jù ilé ayé yẹn láàrò bóyá wọn ni wọ́n gbádùn ẹ̀ jù yẹn lábí ọ̀dọ́ òkú wọn àtọ̀wò ọmọ kí ó ní fáwọn owó ẹ̀yà àbàyà kí ni nǹkan tó dùn jù ilé ayé táwọn lọ́gbà àwọn oníjòyè níjòyè àwọn onípò nípò tí wọ́n wá tọ̀wò lóhun náà ní máa ń bá ìyẹn mọ̀ lọ́wọ́ bá kó sí ní ẹ̀yọ̀ kí ní dépò yẹn láyé pẹ̀lú Al-Qur'an al-Karim wọ́n fi wọ́n rẹ̀ sí man ta'allama al-Qur'an wa 'allama ó kọ́ ó tún wá fi kọ́ yẹn ló fi wọ́n nú àwọn àdísì wípé lọ́jọ́ gbé al-Qiyamah wípé alayka bi tilawati al-Qur'an Qur'an kíkà lásán kódà kò ì tí lò ó kàn ká ni fa innahu nurun laka fil ard tẹ́rù bá ń kà ìmọ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀rú máa jẹ́ lórí ilẹ̀ nínú sámà ìpèsè tó wà fẹ́ nìyẹn àti pòtẹ́ nìyẹn náà wà nínú sámà ó ṣe jẹ́ mọ́lẹ̀ lórí ilẹ̀ yẹn nínú àwọn ìgbàwá kan tẹ́kọ̀ àwọn obìnrin tó bá ń ka Kùránì ó máa kà á nínú ìjẹ́ àmọ̀ wọ́n tẹ́kì ó bá ṣe ń kà lámọ̀ ẹ̀gá sí fa inna manzilaka al-yawm ọjọ́ náà lọ́hùn tó máa jẹ́ ipò ẹrú òun ni akhiru aya taqra'uha ẹrú bá wulẹ̀ dákẹ́ sí nígbà tó ń kà gbogbo eléyìí ó ń sọ oríire tó wà ní inú Al-Qur'ani wa oríire yẹn ibi kéèyàn kọ́ kéèyàn mọ̀ ó lè kà ó débi wípé lójú ogun a máa kó àwọn sàábé kalẹ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n kú tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe àwọn ṣùhádà ọlá tó kọ́ wà fún àwọn ṣùhádà kọ́kọ́ kí ń ṣe ọlá tó kéré náà ṣùgbọ́n máa dáàlì tó bá tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbé wọn sínú kòtò ẹgbẹ́ wa béèrè sallallahu alaihi wasallam ayyuhu akhdhan lil Qur'an ó nú wọn tó gba àjẹsára Kùránì dáadáa nǹkan wo ni ó lè tóbi dé dárájà wípé ẹ bá ti ní lára automatically ṣe ẹ̀tọ́ sáwọn tó Kùránì kò sí ara fún wọn dédé yàn òfin yàtọ̀ nìkan nú àwọn èèyàn wà kan Kùránì wà lára wọn tó pé tó jòkó lẹ̀ dáadáa ẹnìkan wá sọ fún mi níjọ́ kan tó ní tóun bá ń rí ẹni yẹn wípé ọ̀nà tóun fi máa ń bà lójú yàtọ̀ sọ́nà tóun fi máa ń bá wọn tó wúlò. Kí ló ń ṣiṣẹ́? Àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ oníkùránì ìyẹn ni àwọn tí wọ́n pọ̀ tí wọ́n mọ̀. Àwọn ará ilé ọlọ́mọba ni àwọn ẹni ẹ̀ṣẹ́ ìdè nìyẹn. Ìkọlọ́mọ tó láwọn ará ilé túmọ̀ ẹni pé àwọn nǹkan lọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́mọba wọ́n sọ wà very very special jọ àwọn tó kù lọ. Àwọn náà ni àwọn tí wọ́n ní Kùránì lára. Òun náà ló tún wá bá débi wípé lójú ogun wọ́n bá fẹ́ sin àwọn èèyàn lójú ogun wọ́n máa bí àwọn sàábé tí wọ́n ń gbé òkú ayyuhum aktharu akhdan lil Qur'an wọ́n tó há Kùránì dáadáa ni. Ìwọ ni Kùránì wà lára ẹ̀jù mọ́ wá ní wọ́n sì lẹ́gbàjá kó há Kùránì jà wọn. Eléyìí Kùránì tó wà lára ẹ̀ ó ti Kùránì tó wà lára eléyìí lọ. ni mo wá pa wọ́n láṣẹ wípé no sàárè tí àwọn máa wọ̀ ó tún yàtọ̀ sí sàárè táwọn tó kù tí wọ́n á sùn sí. Ilé ìdí àwọn oríire òun ló fi máa ń dènà lójú ọwọ́ tá a fi mú lé rè ó kéré nú ilé kẹta máa délé ní ìkéré táwọn tá a bá bá ń bẹ̀. Àìní lè ka ìwé àbí òyìnbó kí ń jẹ́ wàhálà fún wa. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa àti ka òyìnbó kò kí ń ṣe wàhálà fún ara àti rárá. Ká máa ní ká máa sọ lọ báyìí àbí ká máa wá kọ́kàlẹ̀ báyìí ní wàhálà kankan. Kódà débi wípé èdè abínibí ìwé èdè Yorùbá gan trọ́bù ló jẹ́ fáwọn kan ní sísọ àti ní kíkọ. Tóbi bá sọ kalẹ̀ báyìí ìyẹn máa rẹ́rìn. Èdè Yorùbá ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ń sọ yìí. Kó ìyẹn ń tọ́ka sí pé ọ̀tà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ayé ń bí àti lórí kòkè àmà. Tọ́lọ́ wọn sọ pé tọ́ha àwọn alámọ̀kẹ́ta àgbàlérò pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ máa anzalna al-Qur'ana alayka litashqa. Kùránì á sọ̀kalẹ̀ wà nẹ́bí litashqa. Wá ṣorí burúkú túmọ̀ ẹni pé yàn ò kí ń ní lára kó wá ṣorí burúkú. Téèyàn ò bá ti ní lára, wọ́n yẹn máa ń fi gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ wa. Wọ́n ní pé ẹni tó bá ń wo oríire ilé ayé, alayhi bil-Qur'an. Ẹni tó bá ń wá oríire al-qiyama, alayhi bil-Qur'an. Ẹni tó bá ń wá oríire ayé àtàl-qiyama papọ̀, alayhi bil-Qur'an. Qur'an ìdọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀. Khayrukum ẹni tó lóore jù nínú wọn yẹn. Man ta'allama al-Qur'an òun ẹni tó kọ́ Qur'an nìyẹn. Wa 'allamahu. Ó tún wá fi kọ́ àwọn yẹn. Subhana rabbika rabbil 'izzati 'amma yasifun wa salamun 'ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil 'alamin.
So kí n yọ àwọn colors.
Ọ̀dọ̀ tí mo lè pa.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Our brother Ustaz Abdulwasi Ahmed for the Moyasha session. We are a few minutes behind schedule already. So inshallah, I will call on my brother Abdullah Abdu, to lead us in the open dua to fully start today. Inshallah.
صلوا على نبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His infinite mercy and favors upon us. We thank Him for the gift of life. We also thank Him for counting us among those faithful and fortunate to witness the surface of the earth and also witness the third edition. Favors and mercy upon us. We equally thank Him for the success achieved in the previous days. We pray He made today's edition a better one than the previous one. We pray that He should make it an each-free one. For the speakers of today, that Allah should guide their tongues aright and make the presentation a good one. We also pray for us too, for the sacrifice that Allah should accept our strivings and sacrifice for knowledge seeking as an act of worship and reward us all with our Jannah to conduct Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahman Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amin.
Brother. Inshallah, we'll move on to the recitation from the Gloss Quran, which is a memory lay, which will be done by Brother Madam Abdulaziz Ali, and then the English translation will be understood by Madam Tawfiq Okundele. Bismillah, ya Sheikh.
قالوا خيرا للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة ولدار الآخرة خير ولنعم دار المتقين جنات عدن يدخلونها تجري من تحتها الأنهار لهم فيها ما يشاءون كذلك يجزي الله المتقين الذين تتوفاهم الملائكة طيبين يقولون سلام عليكم يقولون سلام عليكم ادخلوا الجنة بما كنتم تعملون صدق الله العظيم.
Yes, you have to play them.
As Abdul comes on to read the translation, please, at our various homes, camp at home, let's try as much as possible to ensure that we take on the memory lane. We are going to have fantastic prizes for those of us who are able to memorize it before we close the camp, like we usually do at our physical camp. So please let's ensure we memorize these verses. If possible, you can take recordings as our stance is reciting to us. Inshallah, we also send us a voice recording and we play it as interview during the session. At our own respective houses, please ensure that we do not take it for granted and we ensure we memorize the verses. Inshallah. That makes this. Bismillah, I'll shake something.
And then all praise and adoration is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The verse goes thus: to the righteous when it is said, to the righteous when it is said, what is it that your Lord has revealed? They say, all that is good. To those who do good, there is good in this world, and the home of the hereafter is even better and excellent is the home of the righteous. Gardens of eternity which will enter beneath them flow rivers. They will have therein all they wish. Thus, those Allah reward the righteous.
namely those whose lives the angels take in a state of purity. Say to them, peace be upon you, enter the garden because of the good which you did in the world. Do the ungodly wait, but for the angels to come to them, or there comes the command of the Lord for their doom. So it those who went before them, but Allah wronged them not. Nay, they wronged their own souls. But the evil results of their deeds overtook them, and that every wrath at which they had scoffed armed them in. The worshippers of false gods say, if Allah had so willed, we should not have worshipped us, but him, neither we nor our fathers, nor should we have prescribed prohibition upon that tree. So did those who went before them. But what is the mission of the messengers? But to preach message. For we are surely sent amongst every people a messenger with command. They say, serve Allah and eschew evil. Of the people were some whom Allah guided, and some of them error became inevitably established. To travel to the earth and see what was the end of those who denied the truth. Truth is the word of Allah.
Easy to use to understand better. And like I said for the Quran itself, let's also take time out to read the English translation and possibly the commentary. It will say behind the verses. Inshallah, we will be having a session on it, but at our own individual personal space, let's try to get an understanding of the verses, and let's try to get grab the meanings and read the message. That's interlude, and that will be taken over by the chair, by the digital officer who play us interlude. So,
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هذه الدنيا حسنة ولدار الآخرة خير من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقيل للذين اتقوا ماذا أنزل ربكم قالوا خيرا للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة ولدار الآخرة خير ولنعم دار المتقين جنات عدن يدخلونها تجري من تحتها الأنهار من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقيل للذين اتقوا ماذا أنزل ربكم قالوا خيرا للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة ولدار الآخرة خير ولنعم دار المتقين جنات عدن يدخلونها تجري من تحتها الأنهار لهم فيها ما يشاءون كذلك يجزي الله المتقين الذين تتوفاهم الملائكة طيبين يقولون سلام عليكم ادخلوا الجنة بما كنتم تعملون.
Yes, it's here and we're at it again.
It's about the 109th annual Islamic vacation called
Yes, it's here and we're at it again.
It's about the 109th annual
Alhamdulillah, that has been a brief of the meaning to ensure that we continue to memorize the verses that are made for us. So inshallah, we'll be introducing some of that already before us. And as we know, today is day 3 of the 109th edition of the Islamic vacation course, which we have seen the priority. Inshallah, today being the 3 is an entrepreneurial development day. So it's something that each and every one of us should be fascinated about. Is what we should be very eager to participate in. So if you have friends, family, associates, colleagues who are not here yet, please rush to dial their numbers and tell them to join, because we are going to have a sweet ride today, inshallah. So we have amazing facilitators who will be taking us through today as we join to entrepreneurial development. We have keynote speaker, Mr. Mugibe Abdulkarim Kadri, who is the CFO of MTN Nigeria, will be taking us the keynote. We also have Dr. Lukman Rahim, who is an associate prof at the American University, Adamawa State, Nigeria, and will be taking us through the. We also have engineer Abdulwasa Baluku, who is a data expert. Will be taking us through entrepreneurship, a practical approach. So we have loaded for us here today, inshallah. A lot of us have moved into entrepreneurship, especially as the lockdown of COVID came upon us. We now have lots and lots of people who are selling or buying or trading of one item or the other. Our Facebook messages, our WhatsApp statuses have turned to the popular market where we sell stocks. But we need to understand the basics and the rudiments behind these things. As Muslim entrepreneurs, what are the do's and don'ts for us? What are we take away? What are those things that are expected of us? What are those things that we need to put in place to ensure we succeed as entrepreneurs? So inshallah, we have amazing speakers for us today who will be taking us through that journey. So I'll be calling on the very first speaker for today. Mentor to many. He's a fellow of the Institute of Child Accountants of Nigeria, STA. He's a fellow of Association of Certified Child Accountants and FCCA. He's a Kellogg Executive Scholar, and he was once a 5-year CFO of MTN Ghana, and at the moment he's currently the CFO, Chief Finance Officer of MTN Nigeria. For many of us, if you do not know, that this amazing personality at one time being the asset maintenance officer of this great society, MSN Lagos Nigeria unit, did not only stop there, he was also the General Secretary of MSN Lagos Nigeria unit at some point in his career. And join me, brothers and sisters, in welcoming this amazing personality, Alam Dugbe A. Kadri, taking us through the keynote.
I presume you cannot hear me, so I'll just continue until told otherwise. I think today, starting on the business, Muhammad, first and foremost, I thank the organizers for inviting me to, have this engagement to give this keynote address to the IBC. Obviously, keynote addresses are meant to set the tone for the talk to come, and to a large extent, I'll try my little way possible to achieve that. Of course, we know the overall team of the IBC itself is on priority, and I'm sure what will have come through will have been to ability to set the right priorities. When the speaker was talking about the attitude to the Quran and the need for us to memorize and to live by the Quran. That's the priorities that we need to that was one of them. Because everything we're going to talk about actually flows from that. So just permit me just to run through brief presentations or just some talks on to help us guide the discourse. So when we talk about the keynote address, I think like one of my friends told me that the best way to talk about it is actually look at the words, try to understand the meaning of the words, and then subsequently try to couple them together with some meaning. So we talk about entrepreneur. Is an entrepreneur. Well, an entrepreneur is an individual who enjoys and builds new business. In different ways, we're all entrepreneurs. That's the way we go about it. And these guys are the ones who bear most of the risks and enjoy most of the rewards. It's a risk and the reward thing. So the more risk you take, the likelihood of paying more. Of course, those who prove to be successful taking risk of suffer and rewarded with profit and faith. So you have numerous entrepreneurs with that we talk about in modern times and in times past. But that's an entrepreneur. We'll talk about definition. So then when you talk about entrepreneurs, what being entrepreneur, what does that really mean? It's an adjective, and basically it's characterized by taking on financial risk in the hope of that's somebody who's enterprising willing to take that challenge. So development. So entrepreneurial development is just trying to bring them all together. The means of enhancing the knowledge and skills of entrepreneurs,
through classroom interactions like these, or coaching programs, mentoring, and the like. So it's all a process, therefore, that helps parents or ventures, get better in achieving their goals, improve business and the nation's economy. So that's the definition in a nutshell. So we now know what it is. But there are some things you need to know about the roles that entrepreneurs play in the economy. So if you look at it, statistics now, we're talking statistics. Generally, they play in what you call the micro, small, medium scale enterprises. And there are different definition and criteria to measure that. But basically, often things are done, perhaps, left school, we can't get, jobs and all that. But the reality is that the job creation is actually in the MSA private sector. And according to the World Bank, actually represents 90% of businesses. And they are responsible for up to 50% of the employment worldwide. So, and in other clients, they contribute up to 40% of. So that's a powerful statistic. When you just think about it, the guy in the street, the small scale enterprise is actually, when you look at the sum of all the efforts of all those guys, let's go back home. You can see those are global statistics. So let's go to Sweden, that is small leaders, development and then yes, in the regular statistics. Talk about Nigerian statistics, talks about 50% of the country's GDP come from that sector, and 80% of the employment in the country. So just think about it for a minute. That as you sit listening to me, you could play in this space and be a solution to the problem. You know how to do that. So again, the real statistics talks about the SMEs and they actually contributed for 3% average to Nigeria's GDP in the last 5 years. So, and that's total about 17.4 million. Even if one, um, even if one SME is not possible, like play one person, that's 17.4 million people. So the kind of 50% of the local jobs, and maybe 90% of manufacturers in terms of practice. According to PwC, the survey they did, Nigeria SMEs account for 60% of the total number of businesses and contribute to 50% of Nigeria's GDP. In terms of ownership structure, 73% are sole proprietors, so it's common businesses or owned by one person. 10% are individuals are identity companies, and 30% are partnerships, state-based organizations, and all. So why am I talking about these statistics? Because when you're talking about if you're going to be interested in activity, you want to develop yourself in activity, whether you know that the activity you're going to is potentially a gold mine if you're able to get your head around there. So that's why we need to talk about Islam and ethics. We all know that, for instance, we all know that Professor Osama was a businessman. He was someone who created true value in the world. Not just in business, but in the way he connected it. So, having the right understanding, the right principles, and because we are Muslims, we must always ensure that everything we're going to do in terms of business is based on Islam principles. So I'll talk about that later on this slide, just briefly. I'm conscious of the time given to me. We also need to know that entrepreneurship is the core of all Islamic, is at the core of all Islamic values, because it is all about value creation. So you look at the Islamic economic system, actually based on entrepreneurship, creating value through social impact, for wealth creation, and for economic development. So entrepreneurship gives you financial empowerment, which allows you the ability to pass it on to your children, your offspring's family can inherit it and pass it to generations over generations. And I'm sure we've got in the house one of the experts in the field, that the woman has been blessed with, would mention when he talks about Muslim entrepreneurs. I'm very passionate about this thing, so I hope you to pay extra attention to the junction. Then, of course, we will then know that we should know that entrepreneurship is a major part of Islamic finance. Like I said, it dates back from the time of the Prophet and his companions. They were all businessmen with high caliber. I was told to share some examples of the companions. Somebody would do that, and they want to take the sting out of the presentations. I wasn't privy to what they sent. However, it's surprising to say that if that doesn't happen, then I'll share some insights on that time permitted. So, Engineer Balogo was talk about the practical approach and how you blend all these things together. My final point on this is that as Muslims, whatever business or conducted in the halal form, we must, live by the Quranic injunction that, that Yahya knows. Each of that is lawful and good or not. So don't let us be carried away, especially everyone wants to make money their own means. Nobody's really bothered about the cost of your wealth, and you just believe that however you make the money you can. But Islamically, that's not the right approach. You should always think about the long term and make sure that your source your head is always halal. And Allah Ta'ala because it's shaitan, will have not been and follow the footsteps of shaitan because and I think for me, in all the people that I discuss, that I assist, I mentor, I talk to in terms of businesses, this is for me the foundation and the bedrock of everything. Because without this class, without understanding this class, it's not likely you're going to be successful. And this is not within the scale of this landscape. So, what are my final closing thoughts in the minute given to you? Is that entrepreneurial development is a very veritable tool for poverty, hopelessness, and depression, which can go to the mind. So, the thing is that we can do something about it. Think of a big idea that will eventually make a difference. So, let's look at this. We're talking about opportunities, like this COVID-19 era. Most of us have. See, the funny thing about COVID-19 is that some people, there are only three categories of people. Some people who are going to remain the same the way they met COVID. There are some that are going to regress, in other words, are going to get worse, and there are some that are going to advance. And I'll give you a typical example. We're having a virtual hand. We're using Zoom. Prior to now, Zoom was not a non-factor for communication per se, but the pandemic presented an opportunity which they pivoted and made it what it is today. But that the other visitors in the US apart from council, the valuation the market value, the market cap of things market more than that. So in other words, within an opportunity, every disappointment, every challenging situation, there is an opportunity to think of a big idea that will make you eventually dependent. Work with it and fine tune it. You want to set clear goals because it brings meaning to all your efforts, and this can keep you motivated. And you be listen to me, be inspired to the fact that you can actually achieve anything you want to. And that seems strange to most people. But the reality is that we all have it in us, the ability to achieve great things only if you do it. And of course, you hold yourself to the highest standard possible. There's a hadith there that talks about excellence, and as excellence in everything. And now charge to you is that in anything that you want to set out to do, in anything that you wish to do it excellently, be a role model, make a difference just like Entity has made a difference, make a difference like the radios have made a difference, make a difference like many other businessmen, known and unknown, who have taken this path to explore and the household name today. We talk about Facebook, we talk about Twitter, we talk about all these nice ideas that are now household names today. So guess what? That's not an idea. And now somehow touch that
Please listen carefully to what the speakers have to say and learn your own journey and resolve to make a difference. Inshallah, Allah will be able to put the color for
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاكم الله خيرا. Ustaz Mudugbe Abdulkarim Kadri for that beautiful presentation. Yes, he has reminded us that we are not the first, we will not be the last to become entrepreneurs. The Prophet himself was an entrepreneur. He created true values in the world around him. He ensured that he demonstrated the teachings of Islam in his businesses, in his entrepreneurship. He conducted businesses that are halal, so you must ensure that while conducting your business, you watch out for the fact that it must be a halal business that you go into. You must have an understanding. You must understand the fee of business before going into it. You don't just jump into it because everybody is jumping into it. That's what's making money for us now. Don't just jump into it. Ensure that you have the understanding of Islam. What are the ethics of Islam around it? You must ensure that you come up with ideas. These ideas that will eventually make you independent. You should talk about the ideas the number of people have made and how it has made them independent as they are today. And of course, making money alongside with it. He also told us that we must set clear goals. And it is this goal that will bring meaning to all of our efforts. We must ensure that those ideas that you have, we cascade them and them into goals. And you must ensure you follow suit on those goals. And lastly, you must be ready to make a difference. The difference that the likes of Dangote has made, difference that the likes of the Rabios of One has made, difference that the likes of Tesla has made, different the likes of Mark Zuckerberg has made, and a host of other business entrepreneurial groups across the world, across the globe. To think of those ideas and begin to cascade them into goals, set those clear goals, make a difference in it, and of course ensure that they are all within a dictate of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala according to the Quran and the Sunnah. Allah bless and father and may it make it for us to understand. And lastly, yes, he mentioned that we must listen carefully and attentively. Lecturers who will be taking us through the journey of entrepreneurship development today, the way our father has led today. Inshallah, moving on to the next on the agenda. Next speaker is already here, someone who is known amongst us, somebody who we recognize and we admire his entrepreneurship journey. He was a PhD in entrepreneurship and CSR from the Montfort University, Leicester, UK. He also had 2 master's degrees in economics and human resource management from the University of Lagos. Previously, he was a principal lecturer and the coordinator of training at the Center for Entrepreneurship Development (CED) at Yaba College of Technology, Nigeria. He is a trained facilitator of entrepreneurship at the prestigious Entrepreneurship Development Institute (EDI) Ahmedabad, India, under the World Bank's TechB project. He has undergone special training in enterprise education for employability, which was facilitated by Oxford University and the Pan-African University of Nigeria under the British Council sponsorship. He had coordinated several business plan competitions, including serving as mentor in the 2014 business plan competition of the Islamic Development Bank in Morocco. He is an alumnus of Cumberland Lodge, Windsor, United Kingdom, having participated in the residential mentoring in 2014. So, brothers and sisters, we have with us the President Amir of the Muslim Congress, who is an assistant professor of entrepreneurship and CSR at the University in Alabama, American University. He was a PhD once again in entrepreneurship and CSR. We have assistant professor Lukman. We are welcome, sir. Have the floor.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. To my esteemed brothers and sisters and all viewers around the world, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So my responsibility here is very straightforward. I've been invited as a book reviewer, and the title of the book is The Muslim Entrepreneur: 10 Success Principles from the greatest Muslim entrepreneur. That is my role here. And this is the cover page of the book, The Muslim Entrepreneur, 10 Success Principles from the greatest Muslim entrepreneur. The learning objective of this book review are just two. One, at the end of this review, we want to imbibe in all participants the spirit of entrepreneurship in line with the Islamic principles taught in the book. The second one is that we want to sensitize all participants on the need to rethink, reinvent, and re-engineer our lives and businesses along the 10 golden principles taught in the book. The author's profile, the name of the author is actually Umar Sule, and his favorite quotes as a scholar and as a professional is, when you truly understand your creator, the dispenser of wealth, you will know that all wealth is actually yours. So the author is full of passion, zeal, and enthusiasm to promote Islamic empowerment through entrepreneurship. And a brief background about him is also instructive. Umar Sule grew up in a traditional Muslim family in Senegal. And from a young age, he observed his entrepreneurial uncles and developed an interest in business. In life, he studied, in Canada, where he bagged a PhD in mathematics of finance. I do business in investment portfolio strategies. He's also interested in business and finance as it relates to Islam and the Muslim. In other words, he actually loved Islamization of knowledge. His zeal and enthusiasm for entrepreneurship actually led him to come up with this groundbreaking book called The Muslim Entrepreneurs. And he has presented his book at so many, fora, on TV and other places. So let me do an overview. The book really is very exciting. I have it in my, e-library for a very long time. I read part of it, but because I was assigned this responsibility, I had to go through in details. There are 12 chapters in that particular book, and out of the 12 chapters, 10 were devoted to discussing 10 success principles. And the first chapter is, of course, the introduction, and the last chapter is the final words, like a sort of a summary and recommendation to all the readers. So in other words, there are 12 chapters. Introduction, chapter 1, 10 chapters were devoted to the discussion of 10 success principles, and the final one actually was recommendation to those who have read that particular book. So an indication that the issues and principles discussed are also endorsed by CEOs of leading companies across the world, one of which is Mirza, is actually the CEO of Mirza Holdings, a multimillionaire and a mentor. Overview of the book, as I have said, 12 chapters and 10 principles discussed in 10 chapters. And the 10 success principles have been outlined. The first one talks about the Muslim advantage. We are coming to that later on. The second one, the need for a success philosophy. The third one is attitude. Attitude matters. Want to succeed in life. Then the fourth one talks about the goals. The fifth one, the sixth success principle is of power of the group. Power of the group. It talks about the power of the group. And the next one is ethics. As Muslims, we must have positive work ethics to succeed in life. Very, very important. Muslims. The next one is persistence and habit. Persistence and habit. The other one is which is denied critical skills, and the final one is wealth building strategies. Wealth building strategies. Because we are speaking to Muslim audience, there's need to embed our discussion, on our fundamentals, which is Quran. So why entrepreneurship for Muslim? He gave so many verses to actually provide theological foundation for his book. But I've actually picked Surah Al-Qasas. Allah talks about some things Allah wanted us to learn that the man didn't learn. Allah said, وَابْتَغِي فِيمَا أَتَاكَ اللَّهُ دَارَ الْآخِرَةِ وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ وَلَا تَبْغِ الْفَسَادَ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. Allah instructs, but seek with that which Allah has bestowed on you the hope of the hereafter, and forget not your portion of lawful enjoyment in the world. Emeke mentioned dual, benefit. As Muslim entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, we must look for success here and success there. That's the dual benefit. And be generous, as Allah has been generous to you, and seek not mischief in land. Verily, Allah likes not the mischief maker. And that's exactly where Korun got it wrong. He was rich. Allah was generous to him. He was an entrepreneur. He was a billionaire, but he didn't give back to the society. He was mischievous. He spread mischief on the surface of the earth. So Allah is now telling us, those of us who will be entrepreneurs in the future or aspiring entrepreneur, that we must look for dual benefit. Benefit on earth and benefit on the day. Has given to us to benefit humanity. It's very, very important for us to do. So chapter 1 is the introduction, and the author said the book is based on interview of 40 most brilliant Muslim entrepreneurs. So the information in that particular book were content analysis from interview granted to 40 most brilliant Muslim entrepreneurs in the world, including our own Dangote. So the success information shared by income, the impact they have in the society, and that the book is original. The information is from the horse's mouth and from the horse's belly. And those interviews covered different continents: India subcontinent, Middle East to Africa, Europe, and North America. That is the introduction. So let's go to the success principle. The first success principle discussed in that particular book, not by me, but by the author, number one is the Muslim advantage. As Muslims, he said we have advantage that so many people don't have. And three of those advantages were made sub-discussion. The first one is that our religion discusses the relationship between our religion, Islam, and wealth. Islam as a religion is not based on rituals alone. It talks about trade and also prosperity. Prophet of Allah, we are prosperous. Prophet Sulaiman, Prophet Dawood, and so many other people that we have mentioned, including Zulkarnain and also our Prophet Muhammad, they were successful, accomplished entrepreneurs. So there is no excuse for us not to be entrepreneurs. The second one is that our religion has positive programming for wealth. Islam wants us to grow our wealth following ethical processes. Look at Abu Bakr, look at Uthman. These are people who have humongous wealth, but they follow ethical processes in growing their wealth, in developing their wealth, and in impacting on the society. And the third one is the dual advantage. As Dangote, as Polawiya, and so forth. If you are rich and you are a Muslim and you follow step 1 and 2, you have dual advantage. You are going to gain here on the surface of the earth. You gain in terms of dollars, euro, pounds, naira, and so on and so forth. Then you are going to make heavens. You are going to make heaven. And you can do that by using your wealth for social service and also for worship. You are creating quality products, quality services, people are benefiting, and you are also using it to worship Allah. You pay zakat, you give sadaqah, and use part of your wealth at work and some other things, maybe CSR or what have you. So therefore, as Muslims, let us pursue dual goals when we go into the world of entrepreneurship. That is what the first success principle is talking about. I have very limited time. So we'll read my slide to make more meaning. I've actually given you a slide that support the fact that Prophet of Allah were entrepreneurs. Abraham was an agricultural engineer, a farmer, and Moses was a shepherd, a trader, and of course, an investor. The second success principle is what is called the need for a success philosophy. Some of us, we go around with failure philosophy. We share failure. That Muslims should not be rich. We should be tattered. We should be dirty. Because piety and dirtiness, they correlate. No. In our own religion, purity, and worship, they correlate. Poverty does not correlate with our religion. Because one of the prayers of our society said, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-kufri wal-fakri. Oh Allah, I seek refuge from you, from poverty and disbelief. So if you are dirty, if you are poor, you may move towards disbelief if you are not careful. So there is need to have success principle. And that success principle is actually built on 3 concepts. The first one is understand what brings success. In Islam, what brings success is upon remembrance of Allah. Allah, the deep in life, if you remember Allah, you are going to have, success. You are going to have acts that is very free, acts that is very inclined towards Allah. And if you push that act towards business, you are going to do well. Because you are going to do things right, and you are going to do things well. And when you make your wealth, you give portion to zakat, sadaqah, and other charitable means. So you recommend what is called 33% rule. That the more you give, the more your business prosper. And I have tested this, so I have tested it, and that is the reality. That's just the hands that give, you continue to be on top. So always give, always give, always give. Don't be scared of spending money. Because in Islam, success is about spending. Then as Muslims, we should learn success. Success is learnable. You acquire success from experts. That is what we call the KSA. You acquire the knowledge of how to run business, how to make money. That is knowledge. Skills too, you learn it, and also the abilities. These are very, very important. And you can acquire that through reading on your own. You look for mentor and somebody who is going to coach you. And finally, we must develop what is called the Muslim millionaire mindset. 3M, Muslim millionaire mindset. That is self-explanatory. If you want to be a teacher, start thinking like a teacher. If you want to be a millionaire, start thinking like a millionaire. And if you want to be a Muslim millionaire, start behaving and thinking like a Muslim millionaire. It talks about the book of Kitab al-Wan, the book of wealth, written by a classical scholar 1,000 years ago. It talks about the exploit of Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was the king of Mali Empire, and he was able to put Islam and also his name in the world record when he went on pilgrimage to Mecca, and he went with gold and humongous wealth. I also talked about Aliko Dangote. He also has a Muslim millionaire mindset. His mindset was developed in Al-Azhar University, and also he developed an independent mind. He borrowed 10,000 from his uncle, Dan Tata, and came to Lagos with 10,000 naira. He has turned his 10,000 naira to humongous wealth today. According to Forbes, said Dangote is worth more than $20 billion. That is the Muslim mindset. With 10,000 naira today, he has built empire for himself. Let us emulate that. The third success principle is attitude. We must have positive attitude. Most of us go around with negative attitude. You want to be a millionaire, you want to have wealth, you must have positive attitude. And he built his discussion on 3 points. 1, promote the good. Let us always go for the good. You see that even Islam talks about good, 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 good. Islam does not fancy evil. Everything that Allah talks about is always good. So the asset of Muslim entrepreneur is to be an optimist. They are optimistic. They have high spirit with regards to good and things that relate to good, like high spirit, building trust, spreading good news, avoiding speaking bad, smiling, to win people, to win clients. They're always grateful, they take responsibility, and they manage their fear. All this put together amount to promoting good. You must be an embodiment of positive attitude, positivity. Then you and your environment, you must understand yourself and your environment. That is emotional intelligence. Many of us don't understand ourselves, and if you don't understand yourself, then you will not understand your environment. Instead of you influencing your environment, you allow your environment to influence you. In the case of Dangote and people you mentioned, they actually understood who they are, and they appreciate their environment, and they are able to influence their environment positively. And more importantly, if there is need to change your attitude, change for the better. If there is need for personality change, there is need to change your disposition and your mentality. It is very, very important, because entrepreneurs are not made. By not made, I mean they are not born as entrepreneurs, but rather because they learn from others, and they also read, they practice what we call the positive aspect of entrepreneurship. They are able to influence their society. It is very, very important that we change our attitude, we change our behavior, we change our mindset. Age is irrelevant. You can be a billionaire when you are young. You can also be a billionaire when you are old. So age does not matter. The most important thing is that if you have some things which are inhibitors, see your progress towards success, change it. That is what the top principle is talking about. The fourth principle talks about goal. For those who have achieved in life, they have goals. Goals are things that you set to be achieved immediately, in the short term, in the medium term, in the long term, and in the very long term. I mentioned 5 things: immediate, short, medium, long, and very long. So it discusses the principle of goal under 3 points. Set big goals. We also advise people in entrepreneurship: think big or start small. Dream big with the right intention. Be considerate when asking support from others. Allah is excellent and love excellence. He used that particular verse of the Quran to bolster the fact that even Allah wants you to dream big, to look for something that is excellent beyond your imagination. Then you work incrementally towards actualizing that. Set big goals. If you set the goal of having secondary school education, then you end up with that. But if you set the goal of becoming a professor, then that goal will push you to achieve your objective. And when you set goals and you are working towards it, the power of dua is very, very powerful. The power of dua is very, very powerful or potent. Do not underestimate the power of dua. As something, all the people that Sulu interviewed, they are all practicing Muslim. In Ramadan, we all know the exploits and the contribution that Dangote is doing, giving out zakat and giving out food, even to non-Muslim. So the more he gives, the more his wealth increases. So he prays 5 times daily, and he does his askar in the morning. And when you do askar, when you do dua, the benefit is that Allah will inspire you with more ideas and with more opportunities that you explore and exploit. And more importantly, it also talks about conceive then achieve. That is, in life, if you have goal is very, very important. Find out why that goal should be pursued, then plan wisely for that particular goal, then work towards executing the goal systematically, and inshallah, you shall succeed. No shortcuts, no short route. You must conceive an idea, you must have structured planning, and you must have systematic implementation. And when you implement systematically with the power of dua, you are going to succeed, inshallah. No shortcut. So don't cut corners. Don't cut corners. The fifth principle is belief. He said Muslims are people who have a belief system. And the belief system of Islam is based on belief system of success, not failure. Muslims are positive. They believe in Allah and that Allah has power to accomplish anything in Allah or vision aziz. So we don't have to believe that something is impossible. Success cannot be achieved. There are bottlenecks to success. Yes, there are bottlenecks, but we serve a God that can remove all those bottlenecks. So there are verses of Quran that talks about wealth, reliance, and also istighfar. He put istighfar because so many people that he met and interviewed, they said they have faced so many difficult problems, but because of their belief in Allah and because they did istighfar, they have actually succeeded. And that is in line with the verse of Surah An-Nur, where Allah said, Istaghfir Rabbakum innahu kana ghaffara yursilu samaa alaykum bidirara. So if you do istighfar, Allah is going to discover wealth that cannot be measured in abundance. Negative belief. Mostly we should avoid negative belief. Society has invented so many unnatural things that limit your belief in God. But as Muslims, avoid them as Muslims and move to greater heights. All these inhibitions that people have created, the witches, the wizards, they can mortgage your life, mortgage your success, mortgage your sleep. Yes, there are things that people have invented, but Allah has power over all things. And finally, he said, grow your belief. Believe in possibilities. Avoid fear and see obstacles as milestone to success. Islamic blueprint, the Sirah of Islam, is very valuable for Muslim entrepreneurs. So we should read the biography of the Prophet, and we are going to grow our belief through the lifestyle of the Prophet and those who followed him. The sixth principle, the power of group. Our religion is a religion of collectivism. Once again, our religion is not the religion of what? Collectivism. It is not communism. When we live in German means collectivism. We do things in group. He said the power of group has actually helped entrepreneurs interviewed to grow systematically. And he explained that under 3 points. He said the power of the family. Don't leave your family. Don't break the family ties. What is considered to wrong in. As an entrepreneur, you can benefit from your family through ensuring that the family ties is sustained. Because the family ties itself has tremendous wealth. There's what we call tribal family loan. Dangote actually benefit from family loan. And you see so many Igbos in Lagos, in different parts of the world, who are prospering in their businesses. They leverage what is called family loan, tribal power, and so on and so forth. Today we are talking about Fulani, Hausa Fulani. It is tribal power. It's very, very powerful. Also, he talks about doing it together. Don't do things alone. Explore collaboration with the family's member. He said, lone wolves die hungry. The author used that. We said, lone wolves die hungry. But if you work in group as wolf, you all share whatever food you have, and all of you will be sustained. But if you work alone, then you go hungry alone and you die alone. So said, use another word, said share the shares. If you have 1 million worth of shares, don't do the business alone. Share it. Let your brothers partake in that particular business. And finally, he underscored the importance of generational wealth, that is, a sustainable wealth. Look at Folawiyo. Baba set up a flourishing business. Baba is no more. The business is being managed by his son and his brother. That is generational wealth. Ensure your business wealth is passed on to your children and to your children's children. Marry good wives and pray for good children. Look at Prophet Ibrahim. He prayed for good progeny. He prayed for, children who are going to be first class, ambassadors on the surface of the earth. Rabbana ablan min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurratan ayun waj'alna lil muttaqina imaman. Leaders, political leaders, economic leaders, captain of industry, and so on and so forth. This is generational wealth. And so many people abroad, they are benefiting from that. Trump Foundation was not built by Trump. It was the effort of the father and the mom. They started real estate business and they made money and they transferred that to Trump and his brother. And Trump now has a Trump Foundation, Trump organization. Success principle 7, work ethics. You must have good work ethics, positive work ethics. And that has been discussed under 3 points also. He said there's what we call work worship family. Work worship family simply means we must work very hard, but we must not neglect worship and also family. This is what is called in management work-life balance. Work is blessed and is the doorway to more risk, more, wealth. But however, as you work very hard, don't neglect worship and don't neglect your family. Allah has responsibility to be given to him. Your work has responsibility or obligation to be given to the work, and your family too has what is called their own right. So work-life balance is imperative. Also, ethics of the Muslim entrepreneur is that they plan first, then they reap later and do quality work. Again, Muslim entrepreneurs, they plant first, they work very hard. That is the planting, the sowing. Then later on, they reap or harvest later on by the power of Allah. And from their wealth, they do quality work to themselves, to their family, and to the society. That is the ethics of Muslim entrepreneurs. And if you mirror the life of Dangote and some others, that it falls within that particular area. They plant first, then they reap later, and they do good work to the society. Finally, he said you should be efficient for you to have positive work ethics. Manage time wisely. Success is the pipeline for efficient entrepreneur. Practice does not make perfect, but practice makes better. So you continue to be efficient in what you are doing. It's not enough to do it, but you must do it rightly, at the right time, in the right way, using the right resources. That is the measurement of the efficiency according to the. And the 8th principle is that as you travel on the path of entrepreneurship, success is not achieved in a day. Rome was not built in a day, and also Yaba was also not built in a day. You must have what is called persistence and habit. Under that, he used 3 explanations. He said, keep going. Islam values persistence. So always do business based on persistence. There will be temptation, but stick to integrity and ethical rules of trade in Islam. Don't cut corners. People can make billions overnight. Don't go through that road. Then the importance of habit. Habit form character, and character is your core being. We must have our own core values, which actually emanate from our habits. Transparency, accountability, and so on and so forth. All these are all values that becomes habit if you do them from time to time. And if you have habits that are not good, that are not really conducive for business and entrepreneurship, change them. Change your habit. Habit that impedes your progress towards success. Some of us will procrastinate. Change it. Some of us will fear, change it. Some of us will risk avatar. You want to make money as a risk lover, you must have calculated risk and attitude. But if you want to sit in your comfort zone, you can't make money. So change those habits. If you want to be healthy, you lose weight. Is that what? If you are obese and you want to be healthy, and you continue to eat chocolate, you drink milk, you drink fatty food, you won't come down. So if you want to be healthy, lose weight. Think big, but start small and move towards your goal. This is the 8th principle according to Umar Shule. And the 9th principle is critical skills. Critical skills. Muslims suffer from lack of critical skills, whereas our religion challenges us to have critical skills. Afala yaqilun, afala tubsirun. We also to use our brain, our faculty, actually relate with the environment, understand the environment, and be captains and managers of the environment. So if you don't have critical skills, then humble yourself to be coachable. Be ready to learn conventional knowledge and Islamic knowledge. And when you learn those knowledge, apply them and be open and have courage to ask if you don't know. Also, business skills such as knowledge of the business, leadership skills to manage clients, customer, and your workers, customer relationship management, human capital management, and wealth management are things that Umar Sule also underscore as core business skills that we must learn. And finally, you must know your customers. Understand your customers like sales person. You go to Yaba, this is our Igbo brothers, they understand salesmanship and marketing. Similarly, if you want to make money, you must know your customer, their needs, their tastes, their preferences, their do's and their don'ts. Do smart marketing. Be compelling and convincing in whatever you are doing. And finally, because of time, the 10th principle is wealth building strategy. And there are 3 sub-themes under that. Wisdom with money. You know, Prophet Sulaiman, Dawood, and some other prophets who are wealthy, they have what is called wealth building strategies. So Umar Sule actually left us with 3 points. Wisdom with money. You must have wisdom on how to manage money. Create more income streams. If you have one business, try to become serial entrepreneurs so that more money will come in. Then the second principle, save, save, save. And the third one, giving is investing. If you give in charity, to food, say it's what is money. When Islam, you're also investing. One more to continue the physical. In a higher in the Allah, or higher or Axam Ajara, or stack for Allah in the love of Murakim. And finally, manage the money. Manage the money. Then he said, go into different industries. From his interview, he recommended the following: real estate, you make money. Trump organization make money. The father and the mother make money from real estate and they handed over to Trump and the like. Network marketing is also very, very promising. The positive one. Manufacturing, that is where Dangote is making money. Also put your money there. And Islamic banking, venture capitalism, and so on and so forth. There are areas where you can also put your money. And your path to wealth, and your plot to wealth. Do business, make money, reinvest in yourself, develop a gene of success, and get a mentor. So, in other words, if you lack the requisite knowledge about wealth building strategies, then go and learn it on those who know about it. If it means going to university, for world-class university, MIT, Harvard, Columbia Business School to get it, it is not waste of money. Umar call it reinvest in yourself. Reinvest in yourself without really going to, praising people. Some of our brothers who are doing fine today, they went to some of the best universities in the world. They invested in themselves, and today they are being, hired by multinationals because of what they have seen in them. Similarly, if you want to be a very good entrepreneur, invest in yourself, and you are going to be a game changer. And finally, the author said many Muslims work for 40 years and remain financially insecure. If you continue to work for others, you'll become financially insecure. Say, my only advice to you is this: change your plan, reverse and change your plan. Become a Muslim entrepreneur. You need this, your family needs it, the woman also need this. Imagine if within the MSN you have 75 Dangote. Your IBC becomes very easy. You don't have to beg anybody for money. Members should just, support our activities. And we are going to be a game changer in Nigeria. Thanks for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan for this wonderful session. I must say my notes is filled up, screenshots and all those are filled up. A number of people have been sharing screenshots across the social media of the lecture. So like people used to say, "Wala for who will join this session." So yes, our farmer has told us in almost every slide that you must make a difference. You must be that Muslim entrepreneur. Earlier that many Muslims will work for 40 years and remain financially insecure. We have many rich Muslims, many wealthy Muslims who are companions of the Prophet, who are tabi'in, who are responsible Muslims. So being wealthy is not something for the world alone. It's not something for the dunya. It's not for people of the dunya alone, like we used to say. It's for people of the dunya and the akhirah. The world, Allah has made the world for us to you will not be able to act successfully as vicegerents of Allah with poverty. And we continue to babble around poverty if we will not become entrepreneurs, if we will not stand out, if we will not come out to make the difference. If you not follow the power of the group, if you do not invest in yourself, as I said, you must invest in ourselves, we must spend that money to learn that knowledge, to acquire that knowledge. We must ensure that we take advantage of the Muslim advantage. Islam talks about wealth. Islam preaches that we must be wealthy. Islam tells us those things that we need to do to acquire wealth. And we must not always forget that we are Muslims. And whatever we try to acquire, the bedrock must be the bedrock of Islam. We need to have a success philosophy. We need to change our orientation. We need to ensure that we have the right mindset. The Muslim millionaire mindset. And give us samples of people who are Muslims who are excelling with this mindset already. He told us how that there's a need for us to have the right attitude. We must promote positivity. We must promote the good. You must always turn out positive attitude. You must also understand yourself and the environment. There's no how you succeed without you understanding the environment, without you understanding yourself. There's a path to self-discovery. You must go through that path. Understand yourself, understand the environment. Don't be a copycat. Sometimes, yes, you need to copy people's ideas and then bring it into what to benefit the environment that people don't. Look at what's obtainable elsewhere. Domesticate it to your own environment. Look at the needs of people. How can you meet up with the needs of people? How can you commercialize this solution? What people sell is solutions. Don't just go about selling products. Think of solutions to ideas. You see, people used to come down to Nigeria from abroad and say that there's money in this country, there's a gold mine. Any country, any environment where there are problems, where they have numerous challenges, what the business mindset person sees is gold mine. Because where there are problems, it means there are solutions that need to be provided. And when there are solutions, when you can come up with solutions and you can commercialize those solutions, you are already you're already on the path to stardom, you're already on the path to acquire wealth, you're already on the path to ensure that you succeed. You must set goals, you must ensure that you conceive these goals and the plan and you act wisely on them. My father said so many things. I don't want to repeat a lot of them, but I'm sure that 390 of us that are attendees on this panel has gone home with something very interesting, or will be going with something very interesting. And yes, we are not done. Yes, we are not done. We still have another interesting practical session that will be coming up for us. And I'll be calling on my brother, the co-MC for today. Yes, he's not been showing the face with us. I am Qasim Musa, who's going to give us a brief profile next facilitator to the last one. When I'm constant, this will happen.
Naam, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, I mean, I was actually lost the lecture of our father, Dr. Abdurrahim, but finally, most of us would have picked very cogent points for that. The next father that will be taking us through be our father, engineer Abwasir Balogun. He has over 13 years cross-functional experience and exposure across consulting, banking, telecommunication sectors. And he has implemented a lot of policies in technology-driven channels. He has delivered innovative and value-driven financial services across these industries: mobile payments, mobile money, branches, banking, agency banking, micro insurance, micro lending. I can go on, but then he has a lot of this in his offers. He would be the one to take us through the next session, and that next session is going to be a practical approach to entrepreneurship. I would implore that if you have someone somewhere that's not on this platform right now, if you can share them the audio, even if their network is bad, you can share the audio with them. This would be a very good time to do your brother. That's very good. Remember, our first lecturer told us we have to do Sodako. So you can do Sodako in terms of money, and you can share audio of good lectures to your brother. Teach them how to fish. Don't give them fish all the time. So with utmost respect and honor, we invite to the virtual high podium our father, engineer Abdulwasir Balogun. The father.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وسلم. Thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has made it possible for us to be here to look at how do we want to empower Muslims. How do we want to create businesses to add value for ourselves, to add value to the Muslims, and to add value to the woman? Right. My mentors have taken us through 2 sessions. MEK has taken us through a session, and Dr. Lukman has also taken us through that session. What I'll be sharing today with my brothers and sisters on this platform are practical approach. Businesses that I and some other brothers or sisters, as the case may be, has worked on. What are the lessons? What are the challenges? And in reality, it's going to be connected to what the earlier speakers has pressed across, right? So I'll quickly jump into the presentation. So this presentation is going to be more like the case studies, and these case studies are realities. They are businesses that myself, one way or the other, have been involved in, and what are the lessons that has been learned. In some of these businesses, we've lost funds, but as an entrepreneur, what you should understand is that you have not really lost that fund, but you have used that fund to acquire knowledge. And if you have that mindset, what it means is that you will not relent in your business, creating businesses. However, the mistake that you've made, because you use your money to acquire that knowledge, you are not expected to make such mistakes in other businesses that you spend into. So I'm going to take us through more like 4 case studies, different companies, right, and different challenges that would we'll have to learn from, and during question and answer, we also have an opportunity to share ideas and all of that. So the case study is going to be through what we can see, 4 case studies, and if time permits, we can also share other case studies. These are entities that I have been involved, and we've learned 1 or 2 things from that. So I'll take us to the fish farming business, that I and some other brothers work on. So I'll take on the startup team. So the structure of this slide, has been that you see the startup team, what is the startup strategy? What are the business challenges? For the startup team, one of the presentations that was, Dr. Lukman, during the presentation, Dr. Lukman also highlighted that we need to work as a group. So there are 3 Muslim brothers. I was involved, started a fish farming business in Abeokuta, invested in 1 acre of land and location close to UNAP. And, it was clear. One team member was financing, this project. What is the startup strategy? Started lean. And the concept of lean is that, when you're starting, you're an entrepreneur, yes, it's good to have everything, but you have to start small. You start lean. It's a lean thing. 3 people, 2 people, 4 people, 5 people, get 1 or 2 operational staff. There are some cases you need to outsource. You get some other people that you can pay maybe allowances for them to deliver some value to you. So, started lean with a view to growing the business and customer demand increases. So that was the strategy. The startup strategy is that the team started lean, started small, right? They had a clear vision, but they started small, which is one of the things, one of the messages that has been communicated earlier by the 2 speakers. What are the business challenges? So the business failed. And I'm going to, important is that why did the business fail? So that we can learn from it. Because the goal here is how do we pick all these lessons, right? Such that when we're starting our own business, right, we don't fall into such mistakes. So, the business failed because 1, there was lack of committed resources. So when we say resources here, there are human resources challenge. We have 3 teams. 2 members of the team, have students, they can't afford to, so they tend to claim that this is affecting their academics, right? And there was no monitoring of the business. Poor understanding of the business by stakeholders. So what was assumed is that, the team believed that we understand the business. Apparently what has happened is that some of the team members have been doing fish business, maybe under, their houses and all of that, and they believe they understand the business, and it's the reality, the team saw the reality when we started the business. The poor business model. So when we say business model here is they wouldn't really understand the value chain, right? What are the value chain for this business? Wasn't understand. Do we even have a business case? It's not really something that would be very big, but you need to look at, okay, this business that I'm going to be venturing in, what is the expected return? When am I going to start making profit? Is this business that I'm going to run for 2 years, for 3 years, for 5 years before I start making profit? That was poorly done. No experts was engaged. So here we just believe that we want to start a fish farming business, and we started. We didn't engage somebody that has been in the business to learn from that person. What are the challenges? Most importantly, what are the challenges in fish farming business? For us to be able to address such challenges when we start, encountering or facing those challenges. Business failed because the reality is that because they are, poor business model, the resources, and the team are not committed, right? Business, failed after 2 years of persistent revenue loss. So we're still going to have an opportunity to discuss, but the thing here is that we have to pick out of this is that what are the challenges of the business? What made the business fail? It's clearly stated here. I'll take us to the next presentation, which is just for the team, business. So these are other business that I've also, been involved in, and it's a startup team. 3 Muslim brothers. It was also Muslim brothers. 3 Muslim brothers. The vision to own 50,000 pets in 2 years. So this is far better than the other one because when the team, came together, the vision was clear. We want to own 50,000 pets in 2 years, right? And the team invested in 2 acres of land at Iwo. The first team invested in 1 acre of land, and here the team invested in 2 acres of land at Iwo. And number 1 is that for this team, so this team has 2 financiers, right? So what it means is that, you're taking some learning from the first team, from the first experience. This team now has 2 financiers by sharing risk. This is the concept of how do I share my risks. So the startup strategy. So the team started with 1,200 beds, right? So better understand the customer needs and the challenges associated with the business. So again, concept here is that team has a clear vision of 50,000 beds in 2 years. That is the goal. It is clear, it is measurable, right? So, and team believe that let us start small. They started 1,200 beds, right? What are the business challenges? Number one is that the team failed to understand the value chain of the business. So, different businesses have different value chain, right? So when I talked about the poultry business, for example, and it's important if you are creating a business, you understand what are the value chain. So you have produce your birds, they lay eggs. Some people take the eggs from the farm to the retailers, to the consumers, right? We fail to understand the value chain, and we end up, producing eggs, selling the eggs, but the return was very bad. And failure to contact an expert and learn before starting a business. Yes, the team also failed because one of the team members claimed that he has got, or we believe that he has got experience in this business, and we assumed that he can deliver. He tried to deliver, but he's got some challenges. Lack of committed resources to monitor business and scale, right? So the 3 members, for example, 2 are based in Lagos, was based in Ibadan, and the one that is based in Ibadan also has some, was working there. So what that means is that limited time for the business. What business case and model validation? So in this case, the business case was developed, but was poorly validated. And why you say was poorly validated? Because you failed to engage an expert, right, that will have to help you review your business case and your business models. It's not something that is going to be, as I've said earlier, it's not a business plan that you have 50 pages, 30 pages. No, just have the business, an Excel sheet, and you can even contract it out. You have an Excel sheet that tells you when am I going to break even. What is the break even point is that the revenue that I'm making, the profit that I'm making can conveniently, take care of the expenses. At what point am I going to get that done? It was poorly validated. Business failed after 18 months, revenue loss. So this business also failed after 18 months, revenue. So importantly is that we identify what are the key reasons why this business failed, right? We fail to engage an expert again. We fail to understand the value chain. We don't have committed resources to start the business, and the business was giving a poor revenue, and the business failed. Now, we go to case study 3, Royal Bites. Royal Bites is a bakery, and I'm also involved in this. We have 10 Muslim brothers that conceptualize a bakery business. We're able to add value to the Muslim. So it's clear that then there was no more like a Muslim bread, and the team came together and said, can't we have something like this? It's a problem statement, and the moderator was talking about identifying the problem, and bringing up solutions. So the team conceptualized this, and it started, right? So what is the startup strategy? Now, based on what of the things the team members have learned, who can see in the startup strategy that the team engaged consultants to understand the business, which was paid. The consultant has got maybe over 10, 12 years experience before then, and he was working in one of the renowned bakery as a team, one of the senior management handling the business. Validated business case, the team validated the business case, they developed a business case, they ran it through the consultants, and commenced business with the lean model. So the team commenced business with the lean model that, okay, let's start small. The goal is clear, and the goal was how do we ensure that we empower our brothers and sisters, how do we ensure that maybe in each of the local governments we have our outlets that's offering Muslims halal bread. And for people that understand bread, all these guys do a lot of things. They are not conscious of what they had to, the butter they use. They are not conscious of all of these things that they use may not necessarily be allowed. So we're thinking, how can we offer this value? The goal was to deliver the value. The goal was to deliver value to compete with pricing. So it was clear. The team started with a strategy that we are not going to compete based on pricing. Price war, if I can use that word, it is not a sustainable strategy. So if I say that, okay, I want to develop a great business, I want to start selling something, and I'm going to compete with price, it is not a sustainable strategy because so it's like saying that you want to start a sugar business today, right? And you want to compete with Dangote, right?
Dangote, for example, can decide to crash sugar business and decided to make loss for another 6 months. He will use his previous revenue to augment, but you cannot survive. So price war is not a good strategy, and we decided that what we are going to offer to people is that we are going to offer value. Now, what is the other thing that we need to know? 3 members of the team are running the business. So 3 members of the team committed that they are going to be responsible for running the business, day-to-day operation of the business. And what does this tell us? Looking at the case studies that I've shared earlier, now you have a committed team to run the business. If we look at what we're saying, we're not talking about funding as a challenge. So business story. What is the business story? The business breaks even at month one. The month we do the business starts paying the salary. No more further one injection. The business starts producing and start paying salary, right? The business today has hired over 20 workers with over 1 million naira salary payments monthly. So what this means is that, looking at what Emily said earlier, you're creating jobs, right? You are empowering people. So imagine you have a business and you're paying people 20 people salary every month. You have gone to a level that you are not the one being paid, you are the one paying people. And some of us we may not know the significance of all of these things. It's very important, my brothers and sisters, because when you are paying people, even if you are paying that person 30,000 naira, 4 people or 5 people may rely on that 30,000 naira in a month. Also, right? If you also look at the business story, it's over 100 households with over 40,000 loads monthly. So the business today is producing an average of 40,000 loads every month. But what that means is that at least 2 or 3 people will be taking one load, are providing halal food, either to the Muslims or to the non-Muslims. Because Muslims are also buying the bread, because they know that it's something that is owned by the Muslims. So they come there to buy the bread. And the important thing is that you are giving people halal food, you are preventing them from eating what is haram, and these are one of the values that we say that as a Muslim we want to add to people, right? And loan from Bank of Industry. So we finally got a loan from Bank of Industry through Lotus Capital, right? So Lotus Capital, Lotus Capital have access to some of this loan, and they give it to us in more like using the concept of Islamic finance. So at no point in time have we want to get funds from the commercial banks with interest. In fact, Lotus Capital is also looking at coming to put in funds, right? And coming to even talk about our success story, because they invested, they supported us with some funds. And the business today is doing over 30 million monthly sales and a net margin of 25 to 30%. So what this means to you is that the business is growing, right? And important is that these are lessons that we have learned based on the first 2 businesses, and we apply take those lessons and apply. And it's a 10-man team. Business challenges, of course, and these are things that we also need to understand. We need to understand our business and what are the challenges that can come with our business. Fluctuations in raw material price, this affects instability. We know that you need to understand the business that you're venturing into. You need to understand what are the raw materials, where are the raw materials coming from. For some of the raw materials for bakery, for example, they depend on FX. So as you have instability in FX, then you start seeing challenges about price and all of that. Key managers with some of the employees, you also have to be very careful. When you're starting your business and it's growing, you must look at, okay, these resources that I have is the only one that can do the job. This guy decides to leave tomorrow, what happens to my business? And scaling challenges and strategic approach. So, now the business has gone into a particular level and the team is looking at, guys, we need to scale. How do we scale? And because it's food, you understand, you need to be very careful talking about food. Because it's food, how do I ensure that, the taste will not change? How do I ensure that, if I want to scale and I want to have businesses in other local governments or other area councils, as the case may be, how do I ensure that people there would not destroy or make mistakes in my model or recipe that I use in producing this bread? So these are things that we also need to do. This is case 3. I'm going to take us to case 4, which is financial technology company. 2 Muslim brothers committed to set up a financial technology company to deliver value to the stakeholders, right? So what are the startup strategy? The thing is that every of the team members on all of these businesses are starting lean and identify minimum viable product. So what they have done is that, so this is more like a tech company. What they have done is that what is the minimum viable product. They don't want to design everything, design big thing, continue to design for years before they get to the market. What is the minimum thing that can quickly sell to the customer? And it cuts across everything that we do. If you want to sell sugar, you want to sell flour, you want to sell all of this, just look at what is the minimum that I can start, right? And I enter the market, because at the end of the day, you may think that you want to start selling something, and maybe more your brothers or sisters don't even need that thing. So what that does for you is that you quickly get it cheaper and make it better. You know, minimum viable product to deliver market, and so some of the technical work so freelance developers are run. So what the team has also done is they started with a lean team, but they understand that, you know, we need to have some other resources that will do some things for us. We can't pay those people at that time because we're starting up lean, and they decided to outsource. So, you know, when you outsource, it's more like a part-time job for those guys, for those people, and they deliver. This is also a strategy of reducing your cost and being optimizing your cost. You know, you are optimizing that cost by watching what you are spending your funds in. You know, and the business story, interesting is that the MVP product, which is the minimum viable product, failed in the market. So that is why it's important that you don't say that I want to set up a business. Whereas you want to set up a business, you now say that I'll do 10 products at a time. You don't even know maybe those 10 products, the market doesn't need those products, right? So you must pick minimum and actually get to the market. The minimum viable product failed in the market, meaning that the business failed, the product failed. Bootstrap for over 2 years. What bootstrap means is that the two entities were the ones, you know, putting their funds in the business. It's sometimes a very good strategy if you have a fund by putting the funds in your business, building up your business, you know, with your own personal funds. You know, it was a bootstrap concept for over 2 years without profit or external funding. The team continued to fund the business, they continued to fund the business. And what does that mean? It shows that there was a belief. You know, they believe in that business, they had a clear cut goal, despite the first product that was delivered failed. Currently, the team has got over five software engineers, a chartered accountant is a finance team, and the team is paying close to 1 million in monthly salary. You know, but it's very important to also know that these are broke even after 2 years. So different businesses have different break-even points. The break-even business broke even in month 1. Technology company, for example, broke even in year 2. Right? Some businesses failed because they failed to break even because of some of the mistakes that was done. What are the key challenges? You know, business challenges. Despite the business has broken even and the business is currently paying the salaries of the staff, you know, the business also faces challenges because you've got a lot of partners and they believe that you can deliver. So they come with different requests at different times. So how do you manage them? You know, and you've got some managing investors. Some investors are also willing to put money in your business. So we have to also know this. Some of these businesses have been going around to seek for funds, right? For some business, some investors are now looking for, okay, I believe that you guys are doing very well. I believe that you guys are now, you know, they want to put funds into your business. And that is the key thing we need to know. You know, your first starting point is not to do it for money. No. The first starting point is to have a clear strategy, set up your team, have a minimum viable product, test the waters, and you can start growing. You know, everybody knows, some of you guys that Paystack, for example, you know, they started and they were building revenue because they got funds from Y Combinators and all of that. So that is the business challenge for this. It's important to know that what are the key takeaways. Key takeaways is to have number one is strategic partners. You must have a partner that are committed. You must have partners that. So what this tells you is that how for example in doing a business alone, right? You work as a group, you partner. What does partnership do? Partnership will do for you is that you can share risk. You think together, you share risk, and you add value, right? Because different somebody's strengths, it's a concept of leveraging, and the concept of leveraging is that you are building on somebody's strengths. That person is also helping you address your weakness and you can grow. You know, value-driven software. So it must be key. What you should tend to offer in your product, in your business, must be value-driven. You know, when it's value-driven, you get, because it's value, right? It's clear. People, you have customers, unless you are not delivering value. If you have value, you will get customers. If you get customers, your revenue will grow, right? And you become profitable. You know, and we must be strongly guided by the Quran and the Sunnah. That is key for us. We must be strongly guided by the Quran and Sunnah. We must have strategic partners, value driven. More money. You're not starting with finance. If you have all of this, then and you are strongly guided by the Quran and Sunnah, money will definitely flow, because when you give value, money will automatically flow. So thank you for having me. Feel free to reach out if you have any thing that you need to take clarification. If you cannot address it here, you can feel free to reach out, and I'll be available to address our concerns. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the beneficial.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This was mind blowing for me, and about you out there, but it was mind blowing for me. Our father has taken us through a truly practical approach, and case stories of 4 businesses in which he has given us challenges, the business model, the startups, startups issues, the opportunities that they saw and how they were able to tap into it. He gave the example of the bakery. The average Nigeria will eat bread a day or 1 bread in 2 days, and he has strategically positioned the business in areas that has high population and how they're able to go into. I said something the other time that where you see problems, think of solutions, and that's a good mind for you. And if you look at each of these businesses, they have identified opportunities where they need to excel, and they've come up with business plan, they've come up with ideas, and they've translated the ideas into action points, and they're able to achieve those things they've achieved. And one thing that I saw that he did in each of the case studies was to show us the challenges that they had. So it's not always rosy. Dangote just wake up one day, put his 10,000 naira into the business, and they turn it to the multi-billion that he is today. No, they all come with those challenges. For example, during the bakery scene, they told us about the volatility of the FFI businesses, the raw materials that they need to use to make that. Today, the association of bread makers will go on strike and say they want to increase the prices of the raw material and all that. So they have those challenges. They told us about the human risk that they face, that most businesses face, and in fact, it's a big risk that allows that makes businesses die off. Tells us how to come out of those challenges. I talked about are you having strategic partners, and I think you didn't mention that. For me, going to businesses is not good enough to go alone. It's always good to have partners, like you have said, have strategic partners who are committed, who you can share the risk with, and of course share the rewards as well with. Partners who are going to that are value driven, that will bring things to the table, and that will make the businesses run. And he has ended with strongly advising us. All of our lecturers always put it to us that as Muslims, we must ensure we are there in teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah, and they've got samples from the days of the Prophet, from the Sahaba, how they engage with businesses, and how they ensure that they use the Quran and the Sunnah as their guiding principle in coming up with them. This that we following through with this idea. When I ask me, put phone number there for us to see so that if we have issues outside this session, it's available free of charge, I suppose, to talk to us and to guide us through in coming up with our business idea. So it's pretty straightforward. Listen to the keynote from the CFO. We listen to the book review session from our standpoint. Listen to engineer and we ask the practical approaches, giving us different case scenarios. Of course, I know that some of us have businesses that do not fall into some of these cases. If you look at the flesh or the pain points of each of these business approach, they all apply to the businesses that we go on. We're coming up with the models of the business, coming up with the opportunities that we identify, coming up with the action points in the business, showing us the challenges that they have and how to come out of those challenges. I see lots of questions already being asked, and I understand that all of ourselves are here, so we directing some of these questions to them. So we have lots of people. We have from Sister Abiola Ajoke and an anonymous attendee who both asked about the business of Paga. So I'll be directing this to Dr. Lukman, business of Paga. What's the Islamic point on it? Sending and receiving money using POS and all that. What's the Islamic standpoint on the business of Paga? Dr. Lukman, please.
First and foremost, I don't know what PAGA is all about. If it is the POS business, if you run the POS business, it's a legal business. What you are doing is that you are rendering the service of financial ease. Somebody has money and wants to send it to another person. You're only providing the platform. And that is why it's legal, even with CBN and with banks. All you need to do is don't add to it shady deals. Some people, they want people to transfer money or they give people money. At the end of the day, they will tamper with their password and what have you. They are just doing POS business. It is legal with bank. It is legal with business, with CBN, and also it's a legal thing. Since the commission you are getting is for the service you are providing, it's also regulated, so it's legal.
There's another question here which I want Dr. Lupon to also respond. What's the ruling of Bitcoin in Islam?
The issue of Bitcoin, the Muslim scholars, they have divergent opinion. And we shouldn't be surprised. It's an area that is just evolving. Islamic fiqh is also evolving on that particular area. But very soon, there will be categorical position. There are some scholars who said there's nothing wrong with it. As far as they are concerned, it's electronic coin. So whether we like it or not, so many countries, they already adopted it. And before we know it, it becomes something legal in Nigeria. And by so doing, some of us will now be a late adopter. In innovation technology, there's what called early adopter. Those who adopt it early, they benefit and they become the leader. Look at when MTN started this business of recharge card. One of our brothers who was foremost, easy and quiet, today is a frontliner. You understand? But some join very late and they are not really making good money. So let us be early adopter, but we should be careful. We should weigh the position. This is our religion. So we have two verdicts. Some says legal, some say for night is macro. It's something that is, let me say, we should stay clear of because it's somehow not very clear. So I don't want to give any opinion whether it's legal or not. Let's await further research from scholars. But in the case of network marketing, that one is has a straightforward verdict. Network marketing are of two types. The one that is based on halal and the one that is based on haram. Haram simply means they are playing network marketing based on Ponzi scheme. They are robbing Peter to pay Paul. They are not selling product. They are not selling service. They are just recruiting. Go and bring people and get money on referral. That is purely haram. But if you are selling a product that is tangible, that is pure, that is acceptable and lawful, and you are giving people permission on it, and if you bring people who join the organization as distributor, and they are giving you referral commission, that one is halal. It's like an ad body that is taking people to ad. They are charging 2 million, and if you bring somebody to follow them to ad, they give you 10%. It's referral. So the same thing applies to business. So in Malaysia, they have done a lot of research on it. There are two types, halal and haram. The haram one is based on multi-level Ponzi scheme. Pyramid scheme. What is called Ponzi scheme? No, it's not acceptable. And most of them don't accept anything.
I think what should one do if one has a business idea, but and you are afraid the idea might be stolen from you if you disclose it at the moment? And therefore, sir.
I don't really understand the question, stealing ideas. I think what's important is, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
So I think what's important is that if you have an idea, you should be able to take it to the market with speed. For those who may not have known, we actually ran a seminar, a masterclass series on SMEs about a month or two ago. And I will encourage you all to also visit the 10 business websites and get all these letters. So the point is this. Nobody is a monopoly of ideas. See, that idea you're thinking about today, somebody else is also thinking about it. The question is who goes first. So if, like Engineer Buwase has said, you have an idea, then start building your A team around you and find a means of taking that idea to the market. Now, clearly, funds is not your starting point. I keep telling I repeat, funds is the least of your worries. The strength of your ideas will always attract the funds if packaged properly. So, in a nutshell, I would say that if you have an idea, don't just keep it in yourself. Try to identify trusted people, partners, like you have talked about partnership. On Ireland, you must work with people around you and build your business model and take it to the market. It's all about speed. All these things that I'm talking about. See, this Facebook of a thing was not a new idea. Social networking was always there. But Mark Zuckerberg and his colleagues took it to the market fast. So that's all about it. And there are so many other projects and innovations that have happened that people say, oh, that was my idea. I just mentioned this briefly, talking about ideas and why ideas do not mean anything if you're not able to take them to the market. I'll talk about digital technology, digital photography. You know that the first people who actually invented the technology for digital photography was Kodak. Kodak had it, they invented it, but they kept it in the research by the laboratories. They decided not to take it to the market. But somebody else, the Chinese said, wow, this is good. They took it and they ran with it. So where are we today? Kodak, I think they're probably in ICU or they've done the janaza or somewhere. Or whereas the world has moved on. So when you say you have ideas, one point is that the same Lord who inspired those ideas to you can also inspire to somebody else. The person who's going to take it to the market is not who wins. As simple as that.
Somebody said that I'm presently starting up an agro business, but lack a good finance knowledge. Engineer Buwase.
Right. So, for someone that is interested in going to agro business, right, and is willing to learn about that, number one is that I think that's a good starting point because you have to learn about the business before you venture into it. So there are options, person can visit IITA, to make an inquiry because these are people, these are entities that are also, supporting. They have a training institute, they have a training center. But importantly is that when you talk about agro business, you need to have a clarity. Which of these agro business do I want to venture into? You must have clarity because you shouldn't just go to an IIT and say that I want to learn about agro business. Which area interests you? What are the values that you have seen? What are the problems that you've seen in that area, for example? These are the things that will guide you in who to engage. But I think the IIT is really strategic. They are available. You can walk into their offices. They have offices in Lagos, they have offices in Bandung.
One question for you, sir. Since I don't think says, how do we get around the key man risk in businesses, especially where the key man lacks the acumen to enable others to understudy him?
So you own that business, right? You own that business, and one of the things you must do is that you must develop. You must have a process in place. So nobody can tell you that I won't let that person understudy me. You understand? You can tell him or her that you can have a strategic plan. Number one is that I am moving you. I'm going to promote you, right? For example, because for somebody that is feeling I don't want anybody to understudy me, it's either that organization has got some challenges and the person just feels that, oh, I'm going to treat you guys badly, right? So the one that you must first identify why is that person not willing to pass the knowledge across. Do you need to send that person on the training himself, right? For that person to know how to grow people. I was opportune to read a book, The Multipliers, and that was advised by a senior stakeholder here, MAK, which everybody can go and check off. The Multipliers, the leadership book, and the goal of a leader is to try as much as possible to communicate, to build people, right? If that is the case, then that person needs to be sent on a training, for example, because that person has got a challenge, which you as an employer must help in address. That's number one. Secondly is that if they understand a good plan, right? For example, if that person knows that if I can hand over to this person, I want to automatically become a supervisor. You have a good plan for that person. He'll be willing to train because he knows that if he fails to train, he won't grow. But it's an organization that, no, if I give anybody this skill, they are ready to fire me. You understand? That organization or that entity itself has got a problem that it needs to address. So I think look at the problem. What is the problem with that entity? You need to send this person on a training for him to know how to set up a mentor and a mentee. Or do you need to set up a good plan? Imagine you walk into that office and you ask that person, what is your good plan in 18 months so that I can help you achieve it? You walk into your office and you ask that guy that is not willing to pass the message, what is your goal in 18 months? What is your goal so that I can help you to achieve it? Automatically, he knows that you have something for him or her. And you are telling him that, please train this person, because the goal of this person in 18 months is also to get to your level. So it has to be clear and we have to communicate that. And that makes it.
Doctor, please, how can take advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area that starts in January 2021? The ASCFTA.
The first thing is to get the document online, understand the do's and don'ts and the fundamentals. And the second is to do it in group. Don't do it alone. And where you cannot do it in group, get a consultant to guide you on the process. For some of those things we see, some of these opportunities, they require mentor. And one of the things we learned in the book review is that you must have a mentor. There was a time this organization, Faith Foundation, set up by Fola Diola, they had a program on that particular mentoring arrangement, whereby they link you with somebody who is an expert in your area. The person will guide through all the process so that you will be successful, and the person also gain credit for having mentored you. So don't do things alone. If you do things alone, you lose money, and also your idea may be dashed, so to speak.
All right. Thank you. So another question from Facebook listeners. He says that I currently run a business and I know that the business is around, but I have no other means of livelihood. What should I do? Dr. Lukonsa.
Yeah, can I go ahead?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah, you see, if you are into the around business and you also realize that it is haram, the best thing you can do, leave it immediately. Haram is only permitted if leaving it is going to endanger your life, will lead to death. For instance, you travel to some probably in China and you can't find lawful food. All you see is probably pork and pork-related food. You can eat, but not like a business. If you live an around business today, you won't die. You can only suffer for a few weeks and what have you. The reason why is you have to leave it is because there's an express injunction in the Quran and this person that says we should not really partake in haram. So I would advise you leave it and look for something that is lawful. For instance, if you sell beer, say because I don't have other means, let me continue with selling of. If you die as somebody who is selling haram, and you will be raised up as somebody who has eaten and traded in haram merchandise.
The question is for you. I think there are two in one. It says, yeah, I know it's easy to start a business, but at the time it gets so hard that you feel like quitting. What advice do you have for us at this stage, sir? That's one. And the second one is that I meant, so he said that some investors don't want to invest in your business, thinking that it will be profitable. What do you do in this case?
So the first question, quitting, what advice do I have? The advice I have is don't quit.
do with that. I think Engineer Abdulwasi has explained that concept of notebook in giving a case study of 4 things he's been involved in. He's been able to learn, or they've been able to learn why things will not work in their new journeys. And that's what happens when you do this. So if you start a business, and we don't call it failures, the learning realm, we call it them learning opportunities. You actually learn how things will not work, and you apply those things in your next endeavor. There's hardly any businessman who's successful today that has not gone through this job. It's not all the ideas that are now household names today that started off as the one idea. Basically, it's continually learning. So please, whatever it is take them as learning opportunities. When they work, try to codify them. In other words, try to understand what works, and then replicate it in your journeys forward. And if you come up with something that does not work, avoid those things in your journeys, but never stop. It's only until you try, and you will succeed. Yeah, what was the second question?
Yeah, he's saying that investors don't want to invest in our business because they think it will be profitable. What do you do in this case?
Okay, I think Dr. Rahim mentioned about mindset. I think some people call it attitude. I think I like this favorite attitude. So there's a way I can actually pre-qualify you as whether you're worthy to be my business partner. So if I have an idea, then the book you can read on how to pitch ideas. One of them is a book called Pitch Anything. A very, very good book how you can actually sell anything. So go through the steps. So the question is, the author talks about an alpha and beta relationships. In other words, what you need to try to do at all times is to make sure that in any relationship you're in the alpha position. Alpha is the dominant party, so you can be able to dictate your terms and conditions. See, most of us, when we are looking for, when we're selling ideas, we sell our ideas from a point of view of what it calls neediness. So you're always like a needy, like a beggar. When you're a beggar, you can't attract the sort of clientele you need. Thought about your ideas, you'll be able to package them, you'll be able to attract the right people to help you to fund it. Now, note carefully. I've not said how long it's going to take. And I've not said it's going to be easy. These are not the language of successful people. What I've only said is that, and I think Dr. Ryan also covered it, the persistence. Persistence. It's not that fun. I don't know how to call the 3 P's of success. There's preparation, presentation, and persistence. So you must always constantly prepare yourself with your ideas. You must be able to present your ideas when the opportunity allows it. You must persist until you succeed. So I can't understand the question when people say, I don't get the wrong. But in our mindset, that the wrong sort of people have to do. Another knows this.
Someone is actually asking you, maybe if you can mentor him on private, if you can privately mentor him on entrepreneurship. Unfortunately, the person is asking as an anonymous attendee, so you can't even get his details. But he has asked that question. Do you have an answer?
And the first rule in there, because I actually looked through the question, so I saw it and I smiled. So when somebody is not prepared to reveal his identity and is making a request, lacks confidence. So I'm not saying it's not something that cannot be done, but I'm not still saying that when you're in a social gathering and you actually have an opportunity to present things out of the 3 P's. So presentation, preparation, presentation, and persistence. So you must prepare yourself, and when you have an opportunity to meet somebody, then you should. I actually looked at it, I wanted to reply, but I then said, why should I reply? These guys are anonymous. Anybody can. I'm sure, I think what we discussed with the leadership of the unit at some time, have this program where you actually try to mentor people who go to and learn that and ride on that journey along with them. I think one of the things, and luckily you have the faculties who can do that. And I think the key thing is that you must be able to, what's it called? You must be able to pre-qualify the people who you want to mentor. Because basically, you don't want to waste your time on anybody who does okay, what Dr. Rahimi said is very interesting. Let me get his number. I've seen so many people asking for his numbers. But life doesn't work that way. There has to be a pre-qualification, and you must be able to watch the time that the people are going to spend.
Example, we have lots and lots of questions here, but it's already time. We should be wrapping up. We should have wrapped up the program 5 minutes ago. And I don't want to keep my facilitators waiting. And inshallah, we'll just see how far we can answer the questions via chat. And then we can always get the questions and we send it to our guest lecture speakers. And then we can send the answers to you on our Facebook page. Inshallah. So, digital officer, can you please take a screenshot of all the questions still open? And then get the answers from there. Jazakumullah khairan to all our facilitators and our guest speakers. We really appreciate your time. It's not easy to get this category of people to sit with us and have this session because they are very important, they are very busy people. We pray for Allah to continue to reward them in abundance, continue to be with them and continue to guide them and to make them continue to mentor us and continue to lead us well. Inshallah, before we wrap up here, icebreakers. Inshallah, we'll be having icebreakers right now. So, like we know, it's for fastest fingers, and then we have for some of our winners. I'm sure you're already getting the data we're sharing according to network ranging from 750 megabytes to 1 gigabyte. We'll continue to do that today. So I'll be showing the first of the 3 crew session. So the fastest finger, this officer, please be ready to pick the fastest finger for these answers. So we have this on the screen. For 10 seconds. We have winners. I'm the 23rd child of my father. I was successfully ran for presidency in my country those 3 years, and I earned 16.4 million votes in the last elections. Who is the winner? We have winners. I'm not Bayo, but this is very easy. This is advantage. Yeah? Mustafa Adekule is our winner for that. Mustafa Adekule, please send your phone number and the network you use through the panelist session so that the officer can pick it there and then send you your free data. The second one is this. I'm the closest primate to humans. I'm capable of displaying human gestures, and I can catch and be infected with a number of human diseases. Isaac Musia, please send your network. Say you didn't get your data yesterday. Isaac Musia, I saw your comment. Please send your number and your network so that your data will get to you. Isaac Mubarak, I saw that. Come on, someone is a coronavirus. Do you have winners? I do not think I've seen someone who on here. Okay, so it's the chimpanzee. Do we have anybody who came up with chimpanzee? Ulubenga Alabi is our winner. Ulubenga Alabi is our winner. Please send your number and the network. They are asking for network because these days numbers don't show network anymore because of this porting. So I know you don't know it may not even be an excellent number. So please send your number and the network that you use to the panel session so that we can pick it and give you your free data. The next one, we'll have the last one after this. And in Nigeria, after wow, at least anybody's answering this. Okay, so we have our winner already. I think it's Sunny something. It was Doche. Who was the first person? Sunny Yusuf Olatunji was the first answer we saw. Plus, you should please do the same thing as I'm talking now for today. And the last on the icebreaker for today, before we wrap it up. Okay, I'm an automobile. I was created by a man named Enzo. And my logo is the fancy horse. We have our last winner for today. We have our last winner for today. Yes, I'm a Ferrari. Who was the first release Ferrari? Midwan King is our winner, the last winner for today. Madam Midwan King, here's at 12:15. So please send your details to the panelists so that we can get your free data. I want to say Jazakumullah khairan to everyone who has been with us from inception till this present time. Let's not forget that this is the morning session of our day 3 of the online edition of the IBC. Inshallah, today we have another session. Yeah, right. Another session today, this evening. I'm sure for those of you who have registered, we have been getting details. It's for the grammar wing of MSN Lagos, which is the Graduate Members Association of MSN Lagos Secretariat Unit, who they only have this session today, where they'll be talking about okay, let me not reveal it. Or should I not? Okay, but you have registered already. Talking about professional ethics this evening, we have wonderful panelists who will be with us this evening, like 4 p.m. Afterwards, if you have not registered, please request for the registration. The registration link has been sent on the chat box. Please register for that session by evening, and that I'm sure you do not want to miss it. We have erudite personalities who will be taking us through the ethics of our profession. The last one, everybody who has been with us. You've been amazing, and I'm sure that you've learned a lot. And also to our lecturers and facilitators, our panelists, and all that who have made this program a success. See you in the evening, inshallah, for the grammar members, and see you tomorrow for the other members. Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman Malik yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina please play the memory lane as people leave.
الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقيل الآخرة خير ولنعم دار المتقين جنات عدن يدخلونها تجري من تحتها الأنهار لهم فيها ما يشاءون تبارك الله المتقين الذين يؤمنون بسم الله الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقيل للذين اتقوا ماذا أنزل ربكم قالوا خيرا للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة ولدار الآخرة خير ولنعم دار المتقين جنات عدن يدخلونها تجري من تحتها الأنهار لهم فيها ما يشاءون كذلك يجزي الله المتقين الذين تتوفاهم الملائكة طيبين يقولون سلام عليكم ادخلوا الجنة بما كنتم تعملون يقولون سلام
Yes, it's here and we're at it again.
It's about the 109th Annual Islamic Vacation Course IVC from the stable of Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, Lagos State Area Union.
Esteemed parents and guardians, because we care, please note that due to the current global COVID-19 pandemic and safety of participants, the vacation course will take place on virtual platform and not physical this time.
It runs from December 24th, 2020 to January 1st, 2021 with the theme, The Priority.
As usual, we've got all participants covered with soul-inspiring lectures on academic summits, youth and nation building, spiritual path to prosperity, special on Yahoo Plus quiz competition, and lots more.
Join some of the best erudite Nigerian scholars like Professor Salisu Shehu, National Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Professor Adeleke, Dean Faculty of Law LASU, Dr. Nuruddin Olaleye, Rector LASUTE, Sheikh Zikula Shafi, Grand Mufti, CIO, amongst others, as they light up the online IVC.
So what are you waiting for? Hurry up and sign up now. For enquiries and details, call 0817-329-1878 or 0809-847-8405.
Announcer Malam Miftahuddin Sani, Amir, MSSN, Lagos State Area. Muhammad Rasulullah.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó tún wọlé wẹ́rẹ́.
Ìpàgọ́ IVC tó ń wáyé lópin ọdún ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́kàndínláàdọ́fà irú rẹ̀ náà là ń wí látọwọ́ ẹgbẹ́ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mùsùlùmí ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ẹ̀ka tìpínlẹ̀ Èkó.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin òbí àti ará nítorí àrùn kòkòrò àìfojúrí COVID-19 tó gbòde gan àti kí gbogbo olùkópa ó bá lè wà lálàáfíà orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára láti ṣe ìpàgọ́ tọ̀tẹ̀ yìí.
Ìpàgọ́ àrà ọ̀tọ̀ yìí yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní 24th of December 2020 títí wọ 1st of January 2021 lórí àkòrí òkúnkúndùn The Priority.
Wá àti àtúnyẹ níṣẹ́ lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan láti máa jàǹfààní rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa lórí bí a ṣe lè perégedé nínú ẹ̀kọ́ ìwé, bí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ṣe lè mú ìdàgbàsókè báwùjọ, ìṣàfọ̀mọ́ ẹ̀mí, àkànṣe lórí ewu tó wà nínú Yahoo Plus, ìdíje lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan àti bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn ògbóǹtarìgì ọ̀mọ̀wé lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí bí ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Salisu Shehu, akọ̀wé àgbà àjọ gbogbogbò tó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn Islam nílẹ̀ yìí, ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Adeleke, alákòóso ẹ̀ka ìmọ̀ òfin ní iléèwé LASU, dókítà Nuruddin Olaleye, ọ̀gá àgbà iléèwé gbogbonìṣe ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Sheikh Zikula Shafi, mufti àgbà àjọ CIO àti bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Fún àlàyé 0817-329-1878 tàbí 0809-847-8405.
Olùkéde Malam Miftahuddin Sani, ààrẹ MSSN ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó.